big breaking news update, and this is a story from Mumbai. From Mallapuram to Mumbai, the heart of Hamas backers continues to bleed. Not for the innocents butchered by them, but for terrorists who pick arms in the garb of freedom. It's an update we're picking up from IIT Mumbai, in one of the most premier institutions of India, IIT Bombay. A webinar was organized by Professor Sharmistha Saha. She invited theatre artist and filmmaker Sudhanva Deshpande to address these students. In a video posted online by the students, Sudhanva can be seen glorifying terrorist Zakaria Zubeidi, one of the top leaders of the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade in the West Bank. Now, Sudhanva then goes on to call the terror attack a freedom struggle after 46 years of dispossession of Palestinians. First up, watch how the beheading of babies, kidnapping of women and mindless bloodshed was whitewashed as a freedom struggle.
In 2015, the first time I gone to Palestine, I've been there twice. On my first visit, I was lucky to meet Zakaria Zubeidi. And Zakaria at that time was in Kanapani, said that, look, in order to have liberation, we need guns. We have to fight the occupation. It has to be an armed struggle. But if we don't have culture to go with the guns will turn on us. In other words, we will start killing each other if there's not culture with the guns. And this is something that I do want to emphasize, that the Palestinian struggle is a freedom struggle. And there has been no freedom struggle in the history of the world, in the history of colonialism, that has been entirely 100% non-violent. It has never happened. The Indian freedom struggle was not 100% non-violent, and so on and so forth. And I was struck by what an incredible vision this man who's been a militant fighter himself, who has taken part in the armed struggle, who's one of the legendary fighters of Palestine, of the freedom struggle there, and also one of the main characters in the film that you're going to be seeing.
Let's quickly go across to my colleague Arunil joining us with more details. Arunil, quite shocking, because we saw something on similar lines play out in Mallapuram in Kerala as well, wherein a Hamas leader, a Hamas terrorist, was given a platform, he was given a stage. Of course, he did go ahead with that address via virtual media, but this is no different really. But tell us why there is so much anger mounting as far as this episode is concerned, and what have the IITians said about it?
Well, certainly very shocking, and that is why there are many IITians who have come to the fore. They have basically reached out to the local police station, that is Powai police station, to file a complaint. We'll speak to these IIT students what exactly took place. Sudhanva Deshpande giving out a lecture. We have also played out the webinar that was being given, how it was a pro-Hamas lecture, how two of the militants belonging to Hamas were glorified in that classroom. You were present inside the classroom. What exactly you think about this?
Yes, so actually I was present at the time when this movie was being screened. So before the movie was started to be screened, there was Mr. Sudhanva Deshpande, who was invited there to speak, or in terms of the introduction of the documentary. And he was invited by Professor Sharmistha Saha, who is a professor in the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences. So to my shock, Mr. Deshpande, he not only just admitted that he met the, militant activist Zakaria Zubeidi, but he also said that he is one of the legend. So, in a way, I see that it is a deliberate attempt to, influence the students of the IIT Bombay.
One question to you. IIT, no doubt, IIT Bombay is a premier institute in India. Do you feel there should be checks and balances when it comes to guest lecturers being called in, as well as when you approached the concerned authorities for action to be taken, was there any response?
So actually, definitely there should be checks and balances in one of the premier institution of India. So we have written emails to the Dean SA, Professor Dulla, and also Deputy Director Professor Sudarshan, and the Director of IIT Bombay. But they have been ignoring our emails. They did not respond to a single email that we had been written by the students. So if they are not responding to these emails, what students will do? We are helpless. And this incident took place when the Honorable Vice President of India was on the campus. So is it fair that the students are held, as a hostage to, give the political indoctrination through the invited guests like Mr. Deshpande, who is not just justifying the violent and the, active rebellion acts of the militants like Zakaria Zubaydi and Ghassan Kanafani. He's even justifying that, you have to commit the violence. It's required. It's required for freedom. So
we will also try and speak to some of the more students from IIT Bombay. Were you present during the lecture? What was going on in your mind, and what do you expect from a premier institute like IIT Bombay?
So actually, I was not present in that lecture. At the same time, there was a lecture of the Vice President of India, and I attended that lecture. Vice President of India said that there should be zero tolerance against anti-national activities in the campus. And I was very shocked that when I heard about this news, that at the same time there was such a...
We can clearly see the students from IIT Bombay, they are very much appalled by what exactly happened in their campus. They were not expecting, it was basically a movie screening which was scheduled, and out of the blue, a lecture has been given which is pro-Hamas, which is
and that's why the IITians continue to ask, shouldn't there be any further checks and balances before this kind of a stage is given to those who are opining in favor of terrorists and have this kind of an opinion on what's going on in Israel and Gaza Strip?